now here with producer Sarah and director KG. Told you we're going to be recapping The Roses. We've got 2 episodes to cover, so great to see you ladies once again. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so KG, you're going to kick us off.
Yes.
We're going to talk about last week first.
Week 4.
So what did we miss?
So week 4, everyone traveled to Spain.
Ooh.
And group day, they had a whole bullfighting challenge and everything.
Oh gosh.
But let's pass all the bullfighting challenge. The first cocktail party.
Let's pass the bull.
First cocktail party, Carolina expresses to the ladies how she does not feel a connection with Grant and does not see herself getting married to him at the end of the whole series show. And it rubs everyone wrong because she has spent the most time with Grant everybody.
What do we call her? Dramalina?
Dramalina. Yeah. So then, not only does it rub everyone off, it rubs Juliana off because Juliana is like, girl, what are you doing? So Juliana takes Carolina to the side and is like, hey girl, you're being selfish. Like, you know what you signed up for.
Right.
Like, let's get it together. So the end of the cocktail party, no one gets a rose because Carolina is very emotional about, she's crying and Grant's like, no. But then fast forward the next night, the second cocktail party, Rose confronts Carolina about how Carolina was like, hey, when Grant was dancing with me, he thought of...
Oh, of you. I remember you telling us that.
Wait, no, Carolina told Rose that when he was dancing with you, he thought of me. So, which Grant has since said is not true.
Yeah, he's disputed.
Yeah, he's disputed the whole thing. But Rose is like confused.
Okay.
She trusts nobody. She leaves on her own.
Oh, really?
Voluntarily, yes.
And at this point, I would think maybe Carolina would if she's the one having thoughts of not wanting to stay.
And that's when we continue to...
Rose was just so at her wit's end that she... And you were telling me, that's pretty rare, right?
It's rare for someone to leave on their own.
Right.
And Rose was like, it's time for me to go because who has my side?
Well, here's my thing too. Sorry if I'm like throwing you off really quickly, but I have a question because in the past when I've watched these shows, if somebody says this, the girls will turn and be like, by the way, she doesn't even want to be here. And then he would get them off the show.
Right.
Oh,
so is nobody telling him this right now?
Everyone, Juliana is telling her, Zoe is telling her, Lutia
No, him though.
Yes,
Grant.
It's telling,
That kind of leads
mean?
us to this week.
Okay, perfect.
So we're having to get in 2 episodes in 1 segment because we missed last week.
Okay.
So this week, the drama continued from last week.
Yes.
It carried into this week. So the girls are now in Scotland. We're now in Edinburgh, and which is very exciting. We start off with a group date. Grant pulls Carolina aside.
Yes.
For the record, Grant pulls Carolina aside, okay? This is relevant. And talks to her and is clarifying with her, like, I'm here with you, I want you to feel okay. And they kiss, he reassures her, they go on, they all have a wonderful group date together, right? Huzzah, yeah, everything seems great. Then Carolina, back at the house, expresses frustration that she is not going to be on the one-on-one date, that she's going to be, that she's just stuck with the other girls. And so the tension's building, the tension's continuing. The girls eventually get into it with Carolina, right? And Frederick, that's our next VO, I think, the girls fighting with Carolina. And so she's basically saying, Grant pulled me aside, like if he wants to spend time with me, what am I supposed to do? Send him back to you guys? Like I'm dating him.
Right.
The other girls say, we feel disrespected. We feel like if it was up to us, like we would be sharing him, better. Right. And Carolina's doesn't believe that. She doesn't believe that anyone else would use the time differently if it was up to her, right?
I know. It's
so
crazy.
Last we know, Carolina's reassuring Grant, the girls. So by the end of the night, the one of the other girls, and this goes to answer your question, long answer to your question. The girl goes to Grant, and here we go. And this blonde woman that's on screen right now, actually, and she goes to Grant and she says, she's continuing to cause problems in the house. I think you know who I'm talking about. This is going to continue to be an issue. They have the rose ceremony, and Grant sends Carolina home without any conversation. So typically, usually, if someone has had this long of a connection with the Bachelor, maybe they would like pull them aside before, explain, have a little bit more personal of a breakup. But he just, in the rose ceremony, just didn't say her name. It was cold as ice, and she just walked out of there. It was Yeah,
Because
it
sometimes
was
they'll
very
hug
dramatic.
even
Right,
if they don't
yeah.
talk, so they didn't even hug.
She was like, "Oh, I wish you the best," and he was just like, and they just, it was
know what?
weird. It was weird. Dramalina's right.
Well, I'm glad that the producers, because we all say, like, is it real? Is it, producer induced? But, like, I'm glad that they didn't keep her if that's really, how she feels and causing drama in the house. I mean, I know that's good for TV, but
Yeah,
we're trying to find love here.
exactly.
Thank you, ladies, so much. We got a lot out in one segment here. I can't wait to see you next week.